Next up is Fernando Kanako. He is the Senior Director of Platform Engineering at Adidas. I had the pleasure of meeting him last year when he presented with Marcus Rotchert, his VP, about a group of rebels who bravely sought to create a better, faster, safer, happier way of working within the organization. They had regular meetings at a place called Café Intention, where they made and executed their plans, eventually leading to pitching the CIO at 10 p.m. at a leadership offsite, which led to the creation of this new platform team. This year, he's presenting with Benjamin Grimm, Senior Director of .com, who drives the product vision for the e-commerce channel that generates billions of revenue annually of revenue turnover. They will be presenting on the continuation of the Adidas journey, including being responsible for one of 23 board-level initiatives and how they've educated people across business and technology on creating world-class practices to help them win in the marketplace. But before they come out, just know that they will be mentioned in the BMW talk later today as well. So come on out, Fernando and Benjamin.
If we can see things for what they are, if we can see what they could be, if the plastic we use, we never throw away, if the end of one thing could be the beginning of the next. If we know that less can create more. If we can return, we reciprocate, we regenerate. If we are here for others, if we can work as a team, all we have to do is connect, and the world opens up. The future is about giving back.
Wow.
So, hello London. It's a pleasure for me to be here another year. So, my name is Fernando Cornago and I'm heading up the platform engineering practice at Adidas. So last year I came here with my boss, hi Marcus, to explain a little bit what was the history of software engineering in Adidas and how we really convinced our CIO to bring him on board in the boat with the final creation of platform engineering. And this year, Jean asked me, okay, can you, as your goal is to really enable these autonomous teams, can you bring someone from these teams? And as I will never in my life disappoint Jean, I brought the chief product owner of the fastest business in Adidas, our dotcom.
Hi, yeah, I'm Ben. Nice to meet you. I joined Adidas last year in January. I'm working with my teams on the experience of Adidas.com and Reebok.com globally. So we have shops in Asia, in Europe, in North America, South America, Russia, in these regions. So we're working basically every day on these experiences based on the platform that Fernando and teams are building. So a little bit background, a little bit context about the organization. So Adidas has a net sales revenue around 22 billion, an operating profit of 2.3 billion, and a net income of 1.7 billion. So our goal is for 2020 to do 4 billion in revenue in digital. So basically the platform and the experiences we build based on this platform are a significant accelerator and driver for our growth in general for the whole business of Adidas. So we have 57,000 people employed. A gender split is around 50-50.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. So basically at Adidas, we really believe that through sports we have the power to change lives. And certainly there's no question that software is changing sports. Not only how we practice, nowadays no one is going running without a watch to check the performance afterwards, or even to share in social network like Runtastic or any other platform, right? But it's also changing the way that we consume sports. So nowadays watching a game on TV is a full new experience. You only need to see the NFL or any soccer game. But the challenging question is, are we a software company? So I don't think we are, but we need to start operating like this. We heard yesterday Mick Kirsten telling about that 50% of the companies in the Standard & Poor's 500 will be replaced in the next 10 years. But also if you take a look to the 15 or 20 top ones, either they are technology companies or big companies mastering software at scale. And this is where we want to be. We have already 2,300 people committing code in our code repositories and more than 8,000 builds monthly in our platforms. What is the role of technology and IT in all this? So basically, it's providing a speed to our counterparts. A speed to innovate, a speed to go succeed fast, but also to fail fast and recover from the failure. And also doing it in a sustainable way. So doing it with the right quality so it scales in our regions and is sustainable in the long term. And what we chose for that is DevOps. It's the only way to go there, and it's clearly and accepted throughout the whole Adidas technology workforce. And I need to thank here to Jess Humble, because 2 years ago, he gave me the best definition. Sorry to disagree with John. And my best definition of DevOps is calms. And it's the one that we use for everything that we do across Adidas with regards to DevOps. So it's culture, automation, lean, measurement, and sharing. And you will see later how we use all these words. So this is the formula. It's easy. Why do we need this conference? Why Adidas needs our team? Why if it's so easy to go calms? So also we have a lessons learned during the last year and a half that certain platform capabilities really boost DevOps practices. So it doesn't mean that you cannot go DevOps and make some steps with an ERP or commercial of the self, but really, if you are designing a platform from scratch, like we did, these capabilities help the teams. And basically, your platform needs to be on-demand and self-service, ideally ramping up by code or configuration, so the state of the platform is managed by the team, not by the platform team. Scaling up and down on demand, depending on the usage that's needed, and ideally you pay per use. So you get rid of all this long budgeting and capacity planning that everyone hates because it's like lottery. Transparent and measurable in both directions. So the teams need to know what is happening in the platform, access real-time to logs to the behavior of the platform, but also it's helpful for the platform teams to know what is the observability on the teams. It's helping a lot to us because sometimes the platform looks like it's running, but the teams are really suffering from it. And last but not least, open and inner source. Nowadays, if you don't use open source technologies, you are already late in the innovation funnel. But also inner source. So if you don't want to become the bottleneck as a typical infrastructure team from the past, you need to open your platforms for others to contribute to them so they can go fast. And how are we boosting all this infrastructure job in Adidas? So basically, we have this year a lot of focus, and the board team set up clear 23 projects that are board relevant. And you can see here from our colleagues in gray how we sell, run by Ben's team, how we engage our consumer and all our membership program, how we really create our products. We are shortening the life cycle of our physical product through really engage with our wholesalers and consumers in a digital way. So we shorten all these lead times for products to go from creation to shelf, and omni-channel on how we deliver. And all these initiatives, digital ones, are running on top of two initiatives: the data, we need to become more data-driven, and the Digital Tech Foundations, that is the initiative that we run in platform engineering and architecture. And basically, super cool that we present this to the board, to the Adidas board, to the CEO and the executive members. And basically, it's helping us in two directions. One, they get trained in concepts like test automation, DevSecOps, shifting left. They get trained on this concept that, imagine the Adidas board a couple of years ago, they didn't speak about these kind of things. And also it's helping us really to link every small thing that we do with a business outcome. That is super important to not create another wall between business and IT. And everything that we do within Digital Tech Foundations is split in 4 buckets. One is getting closer to the consumer. Our platform and our technical capabilities needs to be wherever the consumer is. Right now in Adidas, the focus is clearly on US and Asia. Our platform needs to be there. Smarter and faster data usage. We have numbers from last year. Either for the fanciest UI experiences, 70% of the building time of a new system were spent in digging into old-fashioned systems and getting the data. So making that easily consumable is key for going fast. And leverage efficiencies is where we bucket everything that we do with regards to improve our efficiency and automation. test automation platform, CI/CD platform at scale, and a consumer-driven testing, robotic process automation for our back office centers. And change management, where we put all the efforts that we do here, but also internally, in boosting all these practices in the delivery teams, and also upskilling our business in technical practices, because, as you say, DevOps is not a problem of IT anymore, it's also a problem of the whole company. And the result of Digital Tech Foundations is Adidas Digital Platform. And we call Adidas Digital Platform to a set of technical capabilities that, without knowing it, we had created following the Adidas DNA. And the Adidas DNA created by Adi Dassler, our founder, in 1949, so 70 years ago. And this DNA has allowed us to be at the forefront of the sporting goods industry during these 70 years. So let's go one by one of these capabilities, and you will realize what I'm talking about. So Open Digital Platform first, our computing platform. This is our interaction with our consumers happen. So have you ever queued up in a retail store? It's very frustrating, right? So you will love how cool it will be that the store assistants are popping up magically when the queue grows. And the store assistants are really shrinking when the queue disappears. That we can do thanks to our 29 Kubernetes clusters around the globe. And now with serverless capabilities, they scale down to zero cost, whenever there's no usage. And wouldn't it be cool also that these store assistants are popping up around the world? I mentioned Asia, I mentioned US. We can do this because our Kubernetes clusters are deployed in 5 different regions of our hyperscaler, by default, Amazon. And wouldn't it be cool also if the store assistants pop up in your house? This we can do also for systems that needs to be on-prem because of data protection or data gravity with other systems. And data, we used to say that data is the new oil. And in Adidas, you can imagine, so we generate a huge amount of data through product ideation, creation, manufacturing, delivery. And making a good use of this data is key for us to go fast and succeed. So in Adidas, we see data as the button on a relay race. So each runner is a team, a DevOps team. They need to go fast. But as important as that is that the delivery, so the handover, is smooth, so they don't mess up the race. And this we do thanks to our fast data streaming platform and our API strategy, based on clear contracts between the different teams. And clear confidentiality level on every data is making that the data is self-service and easily consumable for the teams. And where all this data is flowing naturally? To our big data platform. We use also the hyperscaling power of AWS, really, to make use of new practices like deep learning, artificial intelligence, to get insights wherever the normal algorithms cannot get. So a lot of different pieces, right? And we want to be fast. We want to deliver continuously business. And in order to nowadays deploying an application is deploying a set of different building blocks, and they need to work together and be orchestrated to really meet the business value. And this is like American football. So the team has a mission, is to score. But it's amazing how synchronized the different American footballers needs to be. So they have to do something at the certain millisecond. So at the end, the running back is making the score. We use it Jenkins at scale on top of Kubernetes. So the teams have their own instance, and we manage things like security, backups, and so on. So at the end, we deliver continuously, but you want to deliver continuously something that works and enlightens the user. And for this, you need to test. And Adi Dassler was really an innovator in his time because he went down to the pitch to test with the athletes. And this is what we do thanks to our test automation platforms, where we test all the different levels of testing with agents, or we call them minions, on top of running on Kubernetes in all our regions. So this is like our product managers, physical product managers test nowadays, our SUS, with automatical kickers. Same concept for robotic process automation I mentioned. So these things that you need to do in your back office, but are not taking you forward or differentiating you from the competitors, we use UiPath for robotic process automation. Same concept, a platform team managing, and the different business teams, they can use the platform with a small set of rules. And last but not least, I said last year, you will never see a basketball game without a scoreboard. So that's not what that feeling is not the same. So observability is key. And we have a platform called Holmes, and basically we apply the self-service approach that we use for our data, we also apply for metrics, logs, and business metrics. So one team can watch or subscribe to a metric from other team because they know that if something is failing 4 years later, the replenishment process will not work or anything like that. Good. So all these technical capabilities are nice, but they are nothing without people, especially in software engineering. So open platforms are the key for that. Boosting community events, sharing knowledge, this is key for success. And your platform needs to be open and appealing. And this is the only way for a platform to be successful and to be used by the teams. Okay. Adidas code. So you see this t-shirt. Ben, you can also show it.
Yeah.
So after 1.5 years on the road, if I am proud of something, it's about this, around this t-shirt, around this community that didn't exist 4 years ago. So every single technical person or any person interested in how we do things technically, they come to Spain, where we have 70% of our developers, and they go through a week of onboarding. They do, in the last 2 days, they do an application end-to-end with different microservices, requirements traceability, all the test automation, API published with all our guidelines. It was unthinkable when I joined the company 4 years ago. We spent 6 months fighting with different departments to get an application up and running. But the best thing is that they get contact with the different responsibles or technical product owners of the platforms. So this connection is there forever, and then we follow a no-tickets policy, so this real-time communication enables them also to want to work with you and to provide new things. Apart from that, last year we ran more than 100 events internally, but the most special one is happening in 2 days. So we run a yearly all-engineering day, we call it last year, with 200 people. This year is the Adidas Tech Summit. 600 people, internally people. And this is amazing because we only have 300 internal engineers. So we have 2,000 people deploying our platforms, but we are still heavily outsourced. God, I hope for that not for long. And basically 600 people, project managers, software architects, joining a full day and a half with more than 70 talks of knowledge sharing. So sadly, I will need to leave the conference today, and that's the pity. But I want to finish the community part with a story. And this is my suggestion to all of you, and one thing that I will follow always, is whenever you need to implement something at the company-wide, look in your company DNA. And this is the story of the Adidas Davis Cup. So we were a year ago in our monthly meeting with all the directors of engineering, and we were struggling how to boost DevOps adoption in the different teams. We had a lot of things, a lot of accelerators, framework, quick start packages, but in Adidas and in engineering, we don't like top-down mandate, and also it's against the autonomy from the teams. So we said, what is working in Adidas? Gamification, competition. Let's do this. And basically, it was a huge acceptance in the director level. And we said, OK, let's open it. So the teams will come with a calm definition, where they are with regards to culture, automation, measurement, lean, and sharing, and where they want to be in 9 months. But one condition, bring your product owner. Bring your product owner because he or she needs to state how this is contributing to business value. Because this is one of our biggest struggles of DevOps, is really the return of investment of that. And basically the winner, so the final was last week. The winner is announced in 2 days. I already know the winner, they don't. And basically it's going through a world tour in all our headquarters, really to spread the word of how important is that technology, business working together. So the acceptance was huge, 220 people. We didn't expect that. That made ourselves to get all the directors of engineering, and you are a mentor. That's required. And the cool stuff is that they cross-mentor different teams in a different domain. So both got like fresh perspectives. And after 9 months, the platform adoption and the best practice adoption has ramped up by factors of 10, 20, even 100. We have now 113 projects in the software delivery lifecycle metrics tooling that we have, that is Global Metrics Portal, when last year we had like 50. And we follow chaos engineering and DevSecOps in all the critical projects of the company, every 2 weeks. And it's super fun to go to one of these sessions. And about what we call the golden metrics. So we had our ecom team, Ben. They deployed every 6 weeks, a couple of years ago. Now they deploy, well, basically whenever they want. The mobile team, they spent 3 days deploying. Now the product owner is doing in a minute. Not meetings anymore for deployment. The consumer service team on Salesforce. So they had 0 downtime, and they have gone from 26 P1s to 0. So 0 downtime this quarter, and you don't want to see the numbers of last year. But the most important, business value. Adidas app, they reported 3,700 minutes free to work in different tasks. Now, they were able to sell 2,600 of our GCs designed by Queenie, so our biggest hype product, in 5 seconds. And now they have 8 teams when in the past there was only 1, and they can be 8 teams deploying continuously because of that. And they do 500% the revenue through the app that they did last year. Consumer service themselves, they are moving from being a cost driver to a value enabler through interaction with the consumers. The same. So in the past, 3 teams working in a platform. Now this platform is run by 8 teams with different product owners, even from different domains. So that's through enablement. All the KPIs, consumer satisfaction, NPS, has gone to the roof. The product creation team, the area overall is shortening the lead time of the product. A team of 9 soldiers, they have created more than 75 common services, and their goal is to disappear themselves, because now the different teams are really owning these services. Now they are only 6 people, they were 9, and they want to disappear this year. 500K savings. Or the store associate mobile. So this is the platform that is giving the mobiles to our store associates in our retail store. They multiplied by more than 20 times the adoption by trust from the markets. But basically, the common thing is that none of these teams will exist if they will have not gone DevOps. So what is not the return of investment of doing it, is what happens if you don't do it, that you cannot do. And with that said, Ben.
Thank you, Fernando. Yeah. So, yeah. So what does that mean for the business? So it's a fantastic platform that we have here, but at the end we have to make a lot of euros. As I said before, our goal is by 2020 to make 4 billion in revenue. So we had from 17 to 18, we had a growth rate year over year of 40% in e-commerce. From 2018 to 2019, 36% growth. So there's a lot of growth and a lot of expectation on the platform. And it's not just only about the tech. The Adidas organization in digital grew the last 3 years from almost no teams on the application side to 100 teams. And this is pretty significant in that short of time, especially in a traditional organization that was not a pure player in digital. That organization needs to learn how to onboard these teams and how to ramp them up. The platform gives us the chance to ramp up these teams very fast. So we have every quarter prioritization processes based on OKRs. And the new opportunities, they pop up everywhere and so fast. So no matter it's a social commerce channel, or it's an app channel, or it's a .com and web channel, so we need to be flexible. And it can happen that we have to shift 3 teams on this topic and 5 teams in another direction. And this platform gives us the chance to be super flexible. And we don't need to wait a couple of months until the basics are done and they can really create value for consumers. They can almost start immediately to create value, which is a huge milestone for us. Especially faster time to market. So we can't wait anymore for months over months to get to market. So we have a very agile, MVP-driven, pragmatic environment where we try things almost every day. And these time to market time has increased in the last 2 years significantly. So instead of months, we're talking about weeks, and in the next months, we will talk about days. So we can already release every day. That's fantastic. We can also react to the bugs and the defects that we have on the system very fast, which is crucial, especially in some high performing, in some very demanding time of the year. Agility definitely has competitive advantage. So as I said before, we want to be flexible in terms of how we populate the teams, on which topic they work, and especially in this competitive environment where other companies invest also heavily into digital. So DevOps for business stability. So we are operating around the globe, and especially around the holiday season. Starting with the Singles Day in China, which is the single most, it's the biggest holiday or sales event in the world. So in China, the Singles Day is bigger than Cyber Monday and Black Friday combined, which is pretty significant. We have Cyber Monday and Black Fridays. We have, as Fernando mentioned, we have hype shoes, so-called Yeezy shoes, in a cooperation with Kanye West. They are high-demanding shoes, so they are big sales events with hundreds of consumers coming at a peak time, at a certain time to dotcom and want to buy these shoes, and these shoes are sold in seconds. So it is a pretty big challenge for the platform team, and to make these available. And there was a lot of pain, to be really honest with you, there was a lot of pain in the last years, but now it's getting more and more stable, especially around the holiday readiness. Last year, 2018 was fantastic. We had 100% availability. So we never had that before. 2017, 2016, downtimes here and there, sometimes in China, sometimes in the US. A lot of people had less chicken mode, you can imagine, right? So, but yeah, last year very good. This year very confident as well. With that growth rate, the system is ready. And it's even, this availability and like this success, especially in the holiday season, that goes even up to the executive board, right? They're also asking, so how have you done that? Yeah, we're working in a DevOps style, we have that platform, so they're really interested how we do that. And it's so nice to see the return on investment in these moments of the year. Last but not least, I would like to highlight here site speed. We are always talking about new features here and there. I would like to have new payment method. The search needs to be better and so on. Yes, that's true. But I would highlight here that site speed, you don't really see it, you feel it, and it's a very technical topic. But this one here was our single most conversion driver 2018. So we went down from around 4 or 5 seconds, you can see on the left side, to about 2 seconds. And that was our #1 complaint for the consumers. And the platform enabled the app teams, the application teams, dotcom, and our mobile app to be way faster on the consumer experience side. So that was a fantastic, success for us. You can see here, before the holiday period in November, last year, we launched the product listing pages and the product detail pages based on a new headless architecture. So we have the platform, we have an API layer, and then we have React as a front-end layer. It was absolutely fantastic, and I hope you have some good next things in the pipeline.
Thanks, Ben. Okay. Well, and this year you are not rushing, Jean, so we have still 2 minutes. That's good. So basically, what's next? So Jean asked me, okay, please, Fernando, tell what is next, what are your challenges? And it's a pity that, as I tell you, in 2 days from now, we have our Adidas Tech Summit, but we are announcing a lot of things what is coming next year. So I cannot disclose a lot of things. Basically, IT is undergoing a huge transformation. We have a new CIO since January. And what is clear is that the way to go is the way that we already started 4 years ago. So this is set in stone. A lot of things regarding gamification, that's not going to stop. You hear bad words, AI, ML. The guinea pigs of that needs to be the engineering community. That is clear. So we need to upskill all of them into that. And and skills, working in the skill set of your community. So together with HR, we are creating a huge advanced framework for every engineer joining Adidas, knowing what is expected from them in the different teams with regards to skill sets, the trainings to get there. And this is how we will mature software delivery at scale. And that's it. So thanks a lot, and I hope to see you next year.